Hey, this is Brian King, and welcome to King Long University. We're talking about family law today. And what I'm going to do is take you all the way through a family law case using our Clio program and give you an idea about what we do and try to make it to where every time you have a family law case, no matter where you are in North Carolina or South Carolina, the cases are always handled the same. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we want to talk about the consultation itself. Whenever there is a client that comes in front of you, a potential client, you're going to have a few things that you're going to be doing. First of all, you're going to have your calendar set up and blocked off to where there's different times where intake always knows when you're available and at what time that you can actually be there in order to have this appointment. Now, some of the appointments will be by phone, some of the appointments will be in person, some of them may be by Zoom. Either way, I want you to remember sort of a three-step process that we go through when we talk about an appointment. The appointment will start when you begin listening for 10 minutes. For 10 minutes, I want you to spend your time talking with that client in a way just to building rapport, but mostly you're just listening. I want you to, something I do is I pull out a legal pad or my Remarkable, and I just start taking notes and just let them talk about whatever they think is important. Don't try to get them in chronological order. That's not the way people talk. They don't say, well, in the beginning we met and then things were good and then things got worse. And then they start with the most egregious issue that they're dealing with. And they start with a lot of emotions and those things. Some people won't talk much. You want to encourage them. If you want to encourage them to talk, you can say, just start at the beginning. Tell me how you guys met. Tell me how, if you have children, just kind of get them started with some pointers. Pretty soon they're going to start opening up and they're going to want to talk. Then I want you to print documents for 10 minutes. And there's a few things that you're going to do during that printing of documents. But basically, and if it's about the phone, you're just going to be sending that information over. But a lot of times, even in the consult, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend my time opening up a new file, and gives them a chance to sort of take a look at what's going on with their case. So, for instance, if I wanted to open up a new file, I might just go create new, and on this a new matter, and build up information about them, put in the information, go into custom fields, and set up my my family law custom fields. So I go through, get the basic information. Generally, intake is going to have this part already taken care of. And then you're going to come on down, and then you're going to get into the family law custom fields. And at that point, I want to put in their full legal name. I want to put in their spouse's legal name. I want to put their marriage date, date of separation, children's names, dates of birth, the county, the case file number in case the case is open. If not, I would just put in, let's say if it's 22 CVD blank blank blank, or in South Carolina have the district area, that kind of thing. Put in, if there is an attorney on the other side, I want to get their name, their address, get all of the information about the children, whether it's child or children. I want to make sure they have the child and dates of birth. I want to have all that information in, because once I have that information, then I can start building templates out in their case, and the templates in their case are going to be what's so important to be able to get documentation out. So after I do that, I want to show them that we're getting started. Why? I want to show them that there's a lot of information that they would need to have. Part of that is so we can get started on their case. But the other part is to say, look, you don't want to do this alone. You want to be able to see exactly how much work that we're going to be doing. And when you see that, you're going to realize you really need to retain us. So after talking to them about paperwork, then I want to sell the service for about 10 minutes. And if a person has a family law issue, no matter what that issue is, they need to have us as an attorney, because family law is just there's too many different issues. The stakes are too high to not have an attorney as you go through that process. So a few things that I talk about when we get to this point is I want to talk to them about that client engagement agreement. I want to put it together. I want to have it in their name. If I'm by phone, I'm going to make a engagement agreement. I'm going to send it to them by e-sign, send it right to them so they know exactly what's going on. And then we can build up and then tell them, say, look, $2,500 is a lot of money. It is for me, it would be for anybody. But you're going to be in the full driver's seat in this case. We're going to take you all the way through this. You're going to know exactly what's done in your case every week. Every Thursday, you're going to get a full breakdown about what that's going to be. You're going to see your case development, and you're going to have instant access to all the files in your case. You may say that, like, to them, and that's something I really believe is, it no matter what you spend on our legal services, if it's $3,000, $30,000, it is worth 10 times that amount in terms of what you get out of it. That peace of mind of knowing that that's been resolved, that things are that you can move on and you can finally get through this difficult stage of your life to be able to get on to the next stage. That is so important for what's happening. And then finally, something along the lines of, we take credit cards, we use family resources. Is there any member of your family that I can call? What can I do to help move you through? So that's the consultation. And I never want to let that client be left hanging. I want to make sure that when we finish, we sign that agreement, we start working forward. I assume that they're going to sell. I want to get started on their case as soon as possible. But if for some reason they're not ready to act, I want to make sure I'm doing follow-up myself. I want to make sure that that one of our closers is got a hold of that case, so we're getting that case locked down. And we'll make sure my case manager meets with that person, so we've got exactly what it's going to take in order to go forward. Just as what I think is important for us to look at, we also need to know the basics of the extra costs it might have. So if it's a South Carolina case, we definitely want to bump that up to a $3,500. Emergency custody, if you're going to be involved in that, it's going to be $3,500. If there's jurisdictional issues, make it a $5,000 retainer. If it's a high asset over $1 million, then say $7,000. Interstate adoption, very complicated kind of case, $10,000. High conflict adverse counsel, make that $5,000. If it's out of the regions, make that a $5,000 situation. So that's what we're looking for in terms of it. Then you want to pursue that client. You want to make sure that you are going to be the one who's going to make sure that that person, as a potential client, becomes a client. Call them back, email them, make sure that you've done what you can, because that new client is concerned about how much they're spending, and if they give us money, things aren't going to happen. So when you pursue the client and they see this, they see the documentation, they're going to trust you. You've built that rapport with them. And in a very short amount of time, you have become one of the most important people in their lives, and you will be throughout this process. So that's the way a family law consult should start and how it should end.